Hello everybody, this is Sandy from uniexperts speaking again today. Today we have a very interesting guest joining us in a little bit. It's Daneika, so I'm just gonna see if she's online here so I can invite her to on that call. I hope she's coming in right now. Daneika is a former college athlete herself, and she is now an entrepreneur, and today we would like to talk a little bit about her journey. And yeah, welcome, Daneika. Good to have you.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for your time today. Very much appreciate it. I'd already had a short introduction what this call is about today, but why don't we start with you? Who are you? What are your ambitions? What is your sport? Let's go in that and have a short introduction of yourself.
For sure, yeah. So my name's Daneika. I'm actually originally from England, but I live in the United States. I played college tennis. I went to Florida State University. I got my undergrad and my master's there, so that was pretty cool. After that, I went to Columbia University and I actually coached. I was the assistant coach there. And then I went and I did the volunteer coach at Wake Forest University. My husband is actually the Wake Forest men's coach. So that's why I've kind of moved down to North Carolina. And yeah, it was kind of during my transition from college coaching and moving to North Carolina that I decided to start Online Athlete. I realized that there was a lot of athletes that had, the strength and conditioning aspect missing when they were transitioning into college. I found that out from my freshman when I was a coach, also some teammates when I was a player. And yeah, that's kind of how I got started and been doing it for a couple of years now. And yeah, really enjoying it.
That's great. Before we go into Online Athletes and to your entrepreneurship career now, why don't you give us a little feedback? What was your ambition back in the days to say, hey, I want to play college tennis, and why did you choose Florida State?
Yeah, so I actually wanted to go pro before I went to college. I was training at the National Tennis Centre down in London, in England. And it was during my time there that it was actually my parents that pushed me to look into the college route and see the options there. Obviously, you can continue your education while playing, very high level tennis. I feel like when I was looking to go to college, it wasn't that well known. And, a lot of people now, I think they realize that the pathway is the right one because the level of tennis is so high. So yeah, I didn't actually visit Florida State. I didn't visit any university before I went.
Wow.
I got on really well with the coach and just decided, yeah, Florida State was the one. And I kind of looked out a little bit, that I didn't go visit, and it turned out to be the right choice for me. So
that's great. So, and you played your full 4 years, I accept, and you said you also took your master's?
Yeah, so actually when I went on the team when I was a freshman, I was actually ineligible for the first year, something to do with academics coming from England. So I didn't play my first year. So I ended up playing 3 years. I graduated, and then my coach actually asked the NCAA for a waiver to see if they could get my year back. Anyway, ended up getting it back. They asked me to come back. They said, do you want to play your extra year and get your master's? And I was like, sure, why not? So, I kind of crushed my master's in a year and yeah, played another year. So I studied for 5, played for 4.
But I also know that you were very successful back in the days. I mean, you were top 30, or you made it to the top 30 in Division 1 in the nation. So that's a huge accomplishment. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So now that's the interesting part, because this is the first partner we are basically presenting with uniexperts throughout this interview series. We have talked about with a lot of different athletes in soccer, tennis, golf. So I'm very excited to have you as an entrepreneur, because what I like to know is, which is very interesting for many other, young, ambitious athletes who are currently in the US. How is the transition, and how well does the college and the master, the bachelor and the master, prepare you for your entrepreneurship? Like, because now you have Online Athletes, and we're going to go into that a little bit more as well, what Online Athletes is all about and what you're doing. But how has the transition been for you to start your entrepreneurship with Online Athlete?
I mean, it's been really helpful. When I decided to go to college, I didn't really expect to continue my education. From then on, I've realized how many doors it opens to have a bachelor's, and actually especially a master's as well. When you're looking for jobs and things like that, people automatically kind of put you above others if you have that bachelor's and that master's degree. So, for sure that is something to look at, to have on your CV and resume. It's definitely helpful. But another thing, it also gives you confidence knowing that you've done, the 4 or 5 years of studying, education, kind of what you're talking about, depending what your degree is. And it gives you confidence going into those interviews, going into real life, knowing that you've kind of prepared yourself in the best way possible by doing a master's or, a bachelor's degree, studying, working hard for something continuously for 4 years, because it's a long time to be doing something and putting a lot of effort into something. So yeah, it definitely gives you confidence.
I agree 100% with you. I mean, I feel the same way, the way you explained it just now. And I think that's a great transition into how did you come up with Online Athlete and what is an Online Athlete all about?
Yeah, so Online Athlete is an online strength and conditioning company designed to assist incoming freshmen transition to college tennis, college athletics. And I kind of came up with the idea when I was a coach at Columbia. I noticed that there was a lot of our freshmen weren't fully ready for the workload and the college, the college tennis aspect, the whole strength and conditioning side, the increased training hours. And I wanted to put something in place that helps those kids prepare for, college. Because there's a lot of athletes that actually have never stepped in the weight room. They don't know how to perform a squat properly. They've never probably seen a squat rack, a lot of the kids, and they get thrown into, a weight room when they're at college where there's, 100 squat racks, big, beefy football coaches and stuff like that. And, they're kind of like taken aback and they don't really know what's going on. So our whole program is to prepare the athletes for what they're going into, which is essentially, a big training program that's very different from what they're used to. This is the training and, the way the coaches set up the training and the day-to-day schedule is very different from what they've ever been used to. They kind of had this bubble of, maybe 17, 18 years at home where they've had their training set up near their house, they live with their parents, and then they're all of a sudden kind of lifted out of that and put into a pod, of different coaches, different environment. And so, yeah, that's kind of what we do.
From my experience, when I was back in Germany, I was, like you said, in my own bubble in Germany. And yeah, there was a little gym I could go to, but I mean, the main focus was on the sport itself. It wasn't that like strength and conditioning. And when I transitioned into the US, I felt this huge difference because like 4 or 5 times in preseason, heavy lifting, making sure your muscles get ready, fitness training. And I was like, wow, this is completely different from what I'm used to. So walk us through your preparation. And if I would be now looking to go into college in golf, in soccer, in tennis, in any sport, how would it work with you? How would you work with the athlete? Walk us through the stages so that they get a better understanding.
For sure. So we like to start with athletes at least 3 months prior to going to college, ideally 6 months out. So, if you're starting in August, then, starting January, February would be ideal. And what we do is the athlete gets in touch with us. They sign up all through our website. They use a sign-up information sheet that gives us information like their training history, how often they train, their injury history as well, if they had injuries in the past, current injuries, past injuries, anything. All the information we can get is going to be really useful for us. What facilities they have access to, if they got access to a full working gym that's, got the works, or if they got a home gym that, maybe have a couple of dumbbells, things like that. We get all that information from the athletes. Once we get that information, we're kind of painting a picture of their training regime at home, whether they have a lot or, whether they have full access to everything. Once we get that, the athletes actually perform some physical assessments for us, so we can really kind of nail down what their base fitness level is like. And it's nothing scary. It's very simple. We've got like an upper body strength test. We've got a lower body power output test. We've got an endurance test, just to give us some numbers and some figures of how the athlete, is physically. Once we have that, then we start creating their program for the kids. And, we put them on a progression plan for depending how long it is before they go to college. If they've got that longer time period that we kind of recommend, then we build up their foundational strength first. Then we go into more of a power phase. And then towards the end of the block, we actually start targeting the college fitness tests and things like that. So something unique that we do is we contact the college coaches. So for the
that's
kids,
nice.
yeah, so we reach out to the coaches, we see what fitness tests they have lined up for the athletes, because every university is different, every coach is different. You know, a lot of the tests, you know, you'll find like the bleep test or the mile test, but different coaches as well might have, like I've just spoke to a coach recently who has 300-meter repeats for their athletes. So we're going to throw that into their training to get them used to that. And then, you know, before they end up going, maybe about 3 to 4 weeks, we'll retest it, and we'll keep retesting it until, you know, those athletes feel comfortable. Yes, I know what I'm aiming for. I know what I need to do. And yeah, we haven't had an athlete fail a test yet, and they've always been in the top half of the fitness test. So that's something we're very proud of.
And it's like you said earlier, I think it's very important to also like the, you know, introductional test to see where the level of the athlete is at that point, but also then with your program over the last 3 to 6 months, how the athlete has developed, to see their own progress and like, you know, how you make the steps forward, which is motivational. And I bet all the coaches are loving it, because the athletes who are coming from you being ready, they don't have to worry about any conditioning and being fit.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I've had coaches that keep sending us the incoming freshmen each year, because they know the results they're going to get. They know that once the athlete arrives, their strength coach doesn't have to, you know, waste kind of that first 2 months introducing them to the weight room, introducing them to lifts. They've already got that good foundational strength that as soon as they arrive, they can kind of get stuck in with the upperclassmen and the other guys that are on the team. So, you know, that's kind of a big thing for us. And again, you know, it makes the athlete feel good. You know, if you know 100%, you're prepared, you're ready to go. And if you're nailing the fitness test when you arrive, you know, you automatically impress the coach.
Exactly.
And the longer practices, you know, you're the one that's kind of lasting out there. You know, if the practices is pushing 2.5, 3 hours and you're still feeling good, feeling strong, that's only gonna, you know, give you confidence, but also, you know, make the coach think, okay, you know, this freshman is ready.
This ready, and this refers me to the bubble. You getting throwing out in the bubble overseas by yourself, and this gives you, I feel like, an edge as well, because you know when the fitness test comes, you're feeling ready about it. So you know the first step already from the athletic aspect of things. Also mentally gives you already strength to say, oh, I'm going to impress my coach because I've been working for this for 6 months. So exactly. That was one of the reasons why UniExperts and online athletes are working with you together, because we want to make sure that all our athletes have that opportunity to be physically ready when they get into college, because it's a huge transition. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. It doesn't matter how you prepare. It's always a transition to move into college sports and be ready for the physical aspect.
For sure, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you know, as well as us contacting the college coaches and, you know, getting that kind of 6 months prior to the athletes starting, we can actually do something where we test the athletes maybe like a year out of going to college. They stay with us for a period of 6 months. We test them again, and then we can actually send the coaches, which is a way of helping the recruiting process. We can send the coaches kind of like a physical assessment profile, show the improvements being made, and that can kind of, you know, push you up in the recruiting list as well. You know, we can send that out to, you know, if you've got 5 coaches that you're really interested in, and give them a little bit more information about you. And it's something unique that might put that athlete ahead of another one in the recruiting process.
That's great. That's actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you later as well, is like that this might, if for us, like as a recruiting company as well, gives individual athletes an edge over other athletes who are not in the system of online. And you are well known in the college scene because you're working with so many colleges together. So that's great angle to see as well. It's my understanding though that your business is not only focused on the athletic part. It's my understanding that you also help with nutrition and prepare the athletes in that aspect as well.
Yeah, so we like to cover every aspect of college preparation. Obviously, like we talked about, you kind of get put into, you know, an environment that you're completely not used to. You know, time management is a very big thing for student athletes. We have lots of articles and blogs that the athletes can read and, you know, really try and learn about the college experience. We're also partners with a nutrition company, and you have full access to their app, which means that you can access meal plans, recipes, because obviously when you go to college, mom and dad aren't going to cook for you anymore. You might have to cook for yourself. So, you know, getting used to being able to prepare yourself breakfast, lunch, you know, things like that. Anything that's going to help the athletes, you know, we try and do. And we've actually just, we're kind of in the talks about a new psychology company as well. So a little bit on the mental side that you know, the athletes get a free consultation with those guys there to really help them. And again, it's, you know, it's like that full college preparation package. It's not just the fitness side. You get lots of little cool add-ons that we provide, which is awesome.
Which I believe is important. It's very important because, like I said, you said it from your experience. Like, you left your home and you got thrown into a new bubble, and then you have to figure out a lot of things. So I think it's very important for the young athletes to be ready physically, to be ready mentally, and prepare for the whole journey.
Yeah.
It's also important, like something you mentioned before, even if you're like in college already, in the summer, there's always a break of 3 months, 3.5 months. And, you know, some of the athletes I know are staying with you during the summer because they don't have the fitness program from the school. They don't have all the equipment there, so that they are still staying in shape to be ready again for the fall.
Yeah, exactly. You know, as soon as the kids come back from the school in the summer, they take a couple of weeks off, you know, they relax and they kind of get out of the zone. But then once they're ready to get straight back into the training, a lot of the athletes struggle because they've come from an environment that has everything structured and everything scheduled for them. You know, they're told, okay, you have 7 a.m. lift, then you've got 8 a.m. practice, then you've got, you know, lunch, then you go straight into class. They've got a very structured, you know, rigid plan. And then when they come, you know, back for the summer, they're kind of a little bit lost because, you know, they don't have a plan to follow. They don't really know, you know, what they should be doing. That's why we have a lot of athletes that actually come back to us during the summer and, you know, get that 2 to 3 months work in and prepare them again for that next season.
Great, because I know in the summer season, it's like 3 months. It's a long time where you don't have all the access to the university. So it's a great way to stay in shape with the program. And it's also interesting. I think you're working with athletes. I just saw a post that you helped somebody from Australia getting in shape. So you're working with athletes of all different sports and all around the world, correct?
Yeah, so it's kind of unique because all our programs are online, so we use an app. So no matter where the athlete is in the world, no matter their schedule, you know, we can touch base with them and we create programs for them. So yeah, we've got athletes from all over. We've got America, Canada, Czech Republic, Germany, Spain, Australia, you know, everywhere you can think of. And, you know, they all connect using technology in their phone. You know, their whole program is on their phone. It's got live video links. It's got, you know, videos, rep ranges, everything you need. It's like a full calendar on there. It's really, really sweet. And, you know, they can touch base with their coach through the app and also through WhatsApp. So yeah, there's lots of ways of connecting, and yeah, it just makes training that little bit easier. Because all you need is your phone. You know, you don't need, if something doesn't work for you that particular day, you can just move the session to another day or move it to another time. You're not stuck with a schedule. You know, if you've had a really tough tennis session and you want to move weights back to a little bit later on in the day or later on in the week, you can move it around. So yeah, it's kind of unique in that aspect, and it's been really beneficial for the athletes being able to kind of control their own schedule. And again, you know, controlling their own schedule is great for preparing them for college, because that's what, you know, they're going to be doing. They're going to be on their own, figuring out, you know, everything when they go over to America. So.
And one of the, I mean, you just mentioned the technical part and the flexibility of the schedule, which is amazing. I mean, the technology nowadays offers so many opportunities. I wish back in my days I had all that opportunity, but that wasn't available during that time. However, another aspect which I feel like is extremely beneficial is how affordable the whole program is. So if you want to go a little bit more in the depth of the pricing and how affordable it is for all the athletes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so we use a monthly subscription. So it's about, I'll try and do the currency conversion, but it's like 60 pounds, which is about 75 euros, which is about $80 ish. So yeah, so 60 pounds a month, and you get 7 or 8 sessions a week. So it works out to be about $2, you know, €1, one session, which is unbelievable. And, you know, you get, like I said, 7 sessions a week. Usually it's between 2 to 3 strength sessions, conditioning session, speed and movement session, speed endurance session, injury prevention, stretching, mobility, warm up and cool down. So you get all that for a whole 4-week block for the 60 pounds, 75 euros. You know, so it's really, really affordable for a lot of the athletes. And that's, you know, that's another reason why we kind of did it as well. We're kind of targeting the athletes that aren't funded by the federation, the athletes that maybe don't have the financial backing that they need to get a strength and conditioning coach, you know, 3 or 4 times a week, because it's very expensive. You know, our monthly program is, you know, very comparable price to a one hour strength and conditioning session or a 1 hour tennis lesson. Which when you put it, you know, into that
in perspective,
yeah, like, okay, wow, yeah, you're getting a lot.
And do you do like do you do like a free trial for like 7 days or something, or you?
So we don't do a free trial just because it's a lot of work getting the physical tests and the sign-up information for the athletes, but we do offer discounts for, you know, like I think you mentioned something about, you know, for the people that are watching this, if they want to give it a try, we are offering discounts for the first couple of months. But yeah, it's a crazy, you know, it's crazy affordable for what you get, and it's really beneficial for all the athletes. So.
And something important to know as well, this is not only for college athletes. I mean, if anybody is like out there and they want to stay in shape and they're professionally training and they're on budgets and they really need help with this, call Daneika or reach out to her, because this is not only for college athletes. She does it for everyone. We talk specifically about college today because that's what UniExperts is all about, helping athletes to go and transition into college. But I want to mention here specifically that this is for any athlete who is out there to really want to get in shape and do well.
For sure, yeah. We've actually got a couple of recent graduates on our program as well that are trying to go pro, and they're going to play pro. And, you know, it's like as soon as they graduate, it's like, okay, you know, what do I do? Where do I train? You know, give me some structure. What do I need to do? So we've got athletes that are playing pro right now on our programs. Like you said, they have a smaller budget. So, you know, we really help with that. Obviously, when they're traveling all over the world playing tournaments, I mean, not right now, but usually when they are, they have all their program on their phone. So it's super convenient for them. Yeah.
Great transition. You just mentioned the current situation with COVID-19, and it's, I mean, in every part of the world, it's a different stage right now. I mean, you and I are basically in the US. We're not far apart from each other, North Carolina, yeah. South Carolina. I follow Germany and Europe quite a bit, so I know that the states are reopening. Tennis is starting again, golf, other sports are starting again. But in South America, for example, it's hitting hard right now. So is there a recommendation from your side, from the athletic angle, especially when you have been home for like 2 or 3 months already? Is there any recommendation for all the athletes before they get out there again to start playing full sport again, just in the sense of like making sure of injury prevention and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, for a lot of the countries, they shut down tennis completely for about 6 to 7 weeks. I know in England, you know, no outdoor sports were able to be played. So, you know, people weren't able to get on a tennis court for like 6 weeks. So then if the athlete goes from, you know, not hitting a tennis ball for six weeks and not doing much physical work to go straight into training, then you're going to have that increased training load, which causes injury. So I would say that, you know, now is kind of a great time period to kind of have a little bit of a training block. You know, use what you have at home. You can still improve dramatically with small equipment, resistance bands, a couple of set of dumbbells, you know, even body weight stuff. You can change around the rep ranges, isometric holds, all that type of stuff. If you have a program that, you know, knows exactly what's happening and what you need to be working on, then you can make huge improvements. So yeah, I would say, you know, treat this time period as a training block that you never thought you could get. You know, really try and ramp up that fitness, do the at-home workouts until you can get outside, get to a tennis court, get to a gym. But yeah, huge improvements can be made. And I think a lot of people, they kind of think, oh, I can't get to a gym, so I can't do much. But I mean, it's, you know, a lot to be said for home workouts if it's the right one and you kind of know what you're doing.
That's great. And then also the transition when you get out again and you're able to compete in your sport, in soccer, in tennis, in golf, in any sport you're playing, just make sure you don't overdo it, because your body needs to get used to the new balance again, and just talk to your coach or talk to Daneika about this.
Yeah, gradually increase that training load. That's the main thing. And, you know, the transition from lockdown to tournaments is very similar to kind of your training right now to college tennis. You know, think of the tournaments in college tennis as a lot of tennis and a lot of training where you're at right now. And you gradually need to increase that. So then when you do get to that level, you're ready to go and you can go 100%.
I couldn't say it any better, Daneika. That's perfect. I really appreciate your time here today. It was great talking to you about Online Athlete and having a chance for you to present Online Athlete. I can only recommend to all our athletes from uniexperts, but also out there, to make sure to reach out to Daneika with any question, and also sign up for her fitness program to get ready for college. It's exactly the right time now. We are in May, June, July, August. This is around the corner. So make sure that you are getting ready for any sport, because she can get you ready, and that you feel, at least from the athletical side of things, you're ready to go. Thank you so much, Daneika.
Of course. And I just want to shout out at the end there, anyone that watched this video, if they want to reach out to me, I'm going to give a 10% discount to our college program, our tour program, and our training essentials program. So yeah, if you want to do that, just reach out and I'll knock that discount off for everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Daneika. You have a great rest of the day.
You too. See you later.
Stay healthy. Bye.
Bye. Bye.